So you guys, let me share our actual purchases, and maybe we can just take a quick look at each team and decide, okay, do I like that, or did I make a good buy there, or what? Let's see. All right. So for me, I mean, I wasn't like super crazy about any of the hitting. I thought I paid fair prices. Luzinski, I thought I paid a little bit more than I should have. And actually, Steve, I would have much preferred Gabby Harnett, who went two rounds before.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, if I had gone to 33 on Harnett, would you have done 34?
And I think if it was Harnett or somebody else, if there was more hitting available, I would have stuck you with them
Okay.
because
Because
I felt like you still had money, and for me to get the innings, I didn't want you to go all in grabbing innings for no reason other
yeah,
than prevention. And
correct.
I, to me, it was just like I know I stuck a couple guys along the way. Hard, I mean, that late in the draft, I'm kind of surprised he went for as much as he did, to be honest.
I
Yeah,
had him in the high 30s, but I didn't bid because I already had Bob Boone. But I would
yeah,
have gone if it was earlier. I would have gone high 30s for him for sure.
yeah. I like Harnett, and I also liked his
In that
his
offense,
his
it's a
six
great buy.
throwing arm.
He had the best arm in the
Yeah,
in the game, so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
which is
So,
reason why there is value there for sure.
For sure.
exactly.
I
And then
had I had Hassey and McCarver higher, but I didn't have the money to bid on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah. And then pitching wise, I really like my Mark Icorn purchase for only $4. I had him priced higher. Everybody else, I just thought I paid a fair price, but I didn't steal anybody. So that's kind of my little take on my team. Let me see. What do you think, Steve? Hitting
Uh,
wise?
I wanted to get a premium bat, and I felt like Schmidt was the last one that was there.
Yeah.
I mean, at
Oh,
9.
you ended up with two because Harnett was
Right.
a
Well, again,
premium
I
bat
didn't
too.
expect to pay that much
Yeah,
for him, but I
yeah,
thought because I thought he was a little later.
yeah,
I always want another bat, but I think I grabbed a bunch of those middle range guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then pitching, I was kind of surprised. I mean, I'm not kind of surprised, but Carlton went for more than what I wanted.
yeah.
So if I grab, I mean, I love pitching. So if I grab the next two guys off the board, that's where my mindset was.
Well, and you did. I mean, you ended
Yeah.
up you ended up with two of the better guys.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Cone for 29, I felt was good considering what
yeah,
Carlton went for.
yeah,
Um, you know, and then I
agreed.
grabbed, yeah.
I actually liked your Warren Brewster purchase for $1. I thought that I had him priced much higher than that.
And again, I know we've used him before, and I think just the fact that it was later in the draft. I mean, he went 106. I mean, I just don't know how much money was still on the table at that point.
Yeah. So
Wayne
all
Ward's
right,
a good
good.
buy at 13 too.
Say that again.
Wayne Ward at 13 is a good buy to me as well.
I love that. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 yeah,
Him,
I thought Ward was a bargain, and I think if you scroll up a little bit, I think Winfield at 12 was a bargain too.
The second Winfield, yeah.
you're right. I like Winfield at 12 too. That was nice.
And I
Right.
think you took me to 13 on Ward because that's what you had left, right? I think that's where we battled.
Correct.
So I
Correct.
didn't. And again,
and
I think
then
that's great value, but it just because you ran out of money.
right. And then what happened was I took you to 13 on Ward. I didn't have any more. That was my max bid. Rather, you got to 13 first, and 13 was my max bid, so I couldn't overbid.
Yeah.
And then I did bid with you on Weber,
Yep.
and then you stuck me with Weber at 13,
I
and
did.
then I was at $1 the rest of the way.
Because I wanted who did I want that you took?
Yeah.
You grabbed somebody that I wanted, and I'm like, all right, well, if you're gonna take them, then you're gonna get stuck with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is again, that's part of the strategy because
Yeah.
at that point you have to decide, okay, do I want those innings or do I stick Andy with 13 and now he's at $1 the rest of the way? So
Yeah.
it's strategic.
We've done this before.
Yeah.
I mean, Ward went so cheap because of where he was put in.
Right.
Yes.
Only two guys that could bid on.
Exactly.
And Winfield, I mean, again, there was
Same.
really only two guys with a lot of money left.
Yep.
So that's why they look like bargains.
Yeah.
One of the guys I thought I got a bargain, again, we'll see if he performs, was Let me just go to my sheet here.
I got it on the screen too if you want.
Yeah, no. Brendan Donnelly.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that was, and I think that might have been your first purchase.
Yep.
I think it was, you
Yeah.
know, and I thought he was a
No.
bit of I
A
thought
lot
he was
11, yeah. Okay.
yeah, I thought he was a deal, but I thought I paid a little bit too much for Kevin Apier.
Let me
But
see.
at that point,
Apier.
For 49 innings, that's about probably where he's valued in my mind. He's a good
Yeah.
pitcher, but that 49 innings with a micromanager can get used up in pretty useless spots pretty quick.
yeah. See, I'm not familiar with APBA,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know how it completely works.
Yeah.
So for me, but I mean, the calculation I've got for valuations of players, I mean, is my first time through. So I mean, that's just going to get better any time I go forward.
Yeah, the more you do this, the better you can fine tune it. I mean, 49 innings is not bad for a reliever.
Nope. At an 18.
Yeah. So I mean, your bullpen was very strong.
I mean, I used for hitting to base a lot of the value was OPS plus
Yeah,
and ERA plus for pitching.
those are two good barometers. Yeah.
So that's sort of how I valued it and looked for the midpoint of the guys we had. Now,
Yeah.
some of them who got traded in the year, because I went and pulled all the numbers and double checked it back and forth. I pulled it from Baseball Reference. Somebody like Cone, who only had, 50 innings with the Jays, actually has a lot more. So,
Right, because APBA is going to give
I
you the
didn't
full
have
year.
that type of thing on a few of the players, and I also didn't put in the list the bonus guys. So when one of them had come up, I'm like,
Okay, maybe not.
because I only had so much time, because I do work.
Of course.
I do have a job.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm traveling. I'm in a hotel room right now, so I get that. Mark, you weren't that crazy about Woody English at 30, I don't think, but he gives you 755 plate appearances, so you don't have to worry about that position.
At that point, there wasn't a lot of third basemen that were quality left.
Yeah.
And I needed something. So yeah, he was almost double what I wanted to pay, but I felt I had to.
See, I don't think it's that bad because again, you could have used them at either shortstop or third base. I thought that was a good buy.
And that OPS is very good.
Yeah.
That OBP with that defense is sensational.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so that's a good buy. And then I don't have any issues with Carlton. I mean, again, he was the best pitcher in the draft. So,
but that's at the stage.
Yeah, you paid market for him. You didn't steal him or anything, but he was the best pitcher.
Well, and I don't know. I seem to like lefties, so
that's okay.
I shouldn't reveal that, but
all right. I'm gonna file that away in my memory bank. Let's see.
I tend to go to lefties.
Ed, what do you think? What did you like? What did you not like?
I was very kind of APBA focused, as I said, through the draft. Defense was huge for me. And a guy I was ecstatic to get for $10 was Larry Boa.
Oh yeah, 10.
Not
10
great
shortstop.
offensive production, but that 10 shortstop combined with an 8 at second, I'm going to turn a lot of double plays.
Yeah, no doubt.
I
actually wanted Bo, and I can't remember why I didn't bid against you. Maybe I didn't have money, or I forget what the reason was, but I like Bo.
Yeah. I like Spezio as well. Position flexibility, can play first, can play third.
And the
surprisingly
outfield.
real good numbers for $10.
Yep.
Borders as a number 2 catcher, won't play much with Boone playing, but for $2, not bad defensively, doesn't really hurt me offensively. I'm happy with that. And then some of the fillers I'm really happy with, like Sean Wooten. Again, not a lot of at-bats, but that 333 average or OBP with some power. He can catch, he can play first. Kessinger, again, the 9 at shortstop for $1.
Yeah.
Jerry Martin for $1 does a bit of everything. I'm quite happy actually, but it's a very APBA focused team with the strong defense and and kind of some nuances with speed and stealing and that sort of stuff.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
And
what
in
about-
retrospect, I'm very happy with Jack Morris, even though I thought I kind of paid market value when I bought him early. He was the number 4 player. Turns out he went cheaper than kind of his similar comparables.
Correct. And, you know, it is a solid 240 innings.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ramon Ortiz is not bad. That, you know, that L at home run will hurt you a little bit, but that's still
I had
not
no
bad.
choice at that point. I needed a number 2 starter desperately.
Yep. I love Garber, 17G, yeah, with a Z. And Brian Fisher, you know, so you had a solid bullpen.
Yeah, but I paid market value for all my pitchers, I think, except for Morris.
Yeah. Derek, what about on your end?
Well, you can skip my pictures, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know I went with, you know, the high dollar mark with Ricky, but I was happy to get Henderson. I wasn't expecting to get both him and Mattingly.
I wasn't expecting you to get both either.
And then
and it was Steve against you on both of those, right?
Yeah, I wanted one of them.
Yeah.
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 Garrett Anderson, I thought 15. That was a pretty good value there.
That was good. Yeah.
Eckstein, I think I had valued a bit higher. I know his numbers aren't super, but
that's not bad. He was probably the best. If you don't include Woody English in the mix, he's probably the best hitting shortstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I got a couple, you know, Billy Sample. I know it's only 100 and something at bats, but he's like a decent 4th guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Henderson was interesting because I mean he went up there. Like I said, the record is 50 for Trout. For I forget what year that is. What year was that, Trout? I have it on the website, but I forget.
I don't recall which year we did for Trout,
but
yeah.
hey, you guys were pushing. That's actually the second highest amount paid for a hitter, tied with 1946 Ted Williams. To give you some perspective.
Wow.
So yeah, so that was the second highest amount ever paid for a hitter.
I love that.
Ricky says it's still not enough.
What's that?
Ricky says it's still not enough.
You're probably right about that. Ed, I'm sorry, I cut
I
you off.
said I like the Richie Hebner buy at $9 too. I think that's.
I like Hebner absolutely at 9.
Yep.
Yeah. And then pitching wise, like Derek said, it's a little rough. Cumulative 4.45 ERA.
But Champo Park.
There you go.
We're playing in Colorado.
Yeah,
we're playing in Colorado, so we're fine.
Okay. All right, let's get these sims going so we can find out what the final result is here. Let me stop.
See how bad I suck.
Let me stop sharing this, and I'll do batches of games, and then we'll see where the standings are, and then we'll just keep rolling. I won't look at the stats until the very last sim. Now I do save in between the sims all the stats so that I can compile them later for you guys. But in terms of actually looking at the leaderboards, I'm only going to do that for the last season. So let me stop sharing this. And I think I have League Manager up already.
Any speculation who our batting champion is going to be?
Eddie knows.
You know what? I've done some test sims already, but I didn't save any stats. But my guess would be, I'm thinking probably Kiki Kyler, maybe. That's who I'm thinking.
It's not loading.
So, oh, it's not okay. Hold on, give me a second.
Like Derek's team's taking an extended spring training.
We need it. Our pitchers need it. I'm still scrambling, looking at the waiver wire.
I love that we have 5 different micromanagers too. That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like when you when I anyway have different eras, you have to
tailor it to your team.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I think I figured it out. All right, let's just double check, make sure we're all starting at 0-0 here. Can you guys see the standings right now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah, I see I'm in last place.
but tied.
Perfect. All right, let's kick things off here.
Aaron Seeley sucks.
All right, we should be around the 10 or 15 game mark. Let's see where we're at off the gate here. All right, so I'm ahead 7-3.
Ugh.
So let's see how we're doing here. Steve jumps into the lead
All right.
by 1.5 games. Mark in third, Derek fourth, Ed fifth. Let's take another gander here. I crawl
Here we come.
ahead. I creep over Steve. Ed now moves up to third, Derek and Mark.
A lot of games left.
Yep. All right, let's take another look.
Oh.
Spreading out the lead a little bit.
Freaky team.
Looking for a new home stadium.
And we should be probably around the maybe close to 60 game mark now. Let's see. Steve picked
Oh,
up
coming back.
4 games. Yeah. We're at 57 games played. I can tell my hotel internet is slow because this goes way faster at home. All right, let's see where we're at now. All right, I gained those games back, but Mark
Mark.
9-1 the last
ties
10.
Steve for
Wow.
second. All right, let's see.
No.
Mark,
Look at
solid
Mark.
second. Steve's in third.
Looking
Ed still
500.
within distance. Derek, I think that pitching's is biting you a little bit.
Hey, look at that extra inning mark though.
Yeah.
7-2.
There you go. That's what I call focusing on the positive. I like it. All right, let's see what the tally is now. Look at that, Steve
Oh,
and
within a
Mark
game.
What a race. What a
and
race.
Ed. Look at this.
5 in a row. Wow, Andy.
Very nice. We got a race going here, and we were about a little bit over halfway. All right, this is getting interesting. And let's jump back in the pool and see how we're doing. Steve
Hey.
jumps into first place.
Woohoo. Magic
2.5
number's
game
26.
lead.
I got magic number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark second, Ed, and then Derek. So we're at 120, 129. And it's a 156 game season. Magic 7,
Ooh.
2-game lead. And we're just going to let it run till the end, see if there's any rainouts. No rainouts. And the final tally is.
Ah.
Ooh, caught you at the end. You had a 2-game lead.
2-8 to end the season, Steve. Ugh.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
Atrocious.
Yeah.
Firing somebody.
Billy's in trouble.
Yes, he is.
Let me jot this down so I can keep track. 87, 84, 78. 84, Ed 78, and Mark 77, 64. All right, give me a second so I can save these stats, and then we'll start with season number 2.
87 is not a huge number.
Nope.
No, I mean it was very close, and it was close till the very end. Let me just get into Stat Master here. I'm just going to minimize the screen for a second.
Just to let you guys know, my wife's coming home at some point with my dinner,
Nice.
so I might eat in front of you.
What do
No
we have?
problem.
I think we're getting ramen tonight.
Give me 1 second.
If it looks messy, I'll turn off my video.
Curious to see my run differential.
Yeah, and I'll definitely provide that later. I'm a big run differential guy. To me, that's really the barometer of who the best team is, not the wins.
So if you don't have the best run differential, you will secede the crown. You'll give it up.
I just think that really tells you who the better team
No,
was. I mean,
absolutely.
yeah. And even when you look at Baseball Reference, they do a nice job of showing you the teams that supposedly had more luck
Yeah.
than the other teams. Yeah. All right, I think I got that set. Let me go back to League Manager. I just want to confirm you guys are still seeing the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let me erase these stats. And let's just double check to be absolutely sure we're starting at 0-0. Yes, we are. And here we go. Season 2 is underway.
Team go. Oh, that's a better start. That's
Oh,
a
no,
way
it's
better
not.
start.
Oh, I got
Ouch.
swept.
That's not good. Jeez. Actually, I lost the first 4 games. I don't have the rest of it on my screen, but not an auspicious start for me at all.
It's a better start for me.
Yeah. All right, let's see what the tally is so far.
Wow.
All right, I picked up a little
Close.
ground. Ed is
There
in
you go.
first. Yeah.
Lots
So
of time.
far,
Lost the last 5.
yeah. Very tight. Let's take another look. Ed and me, neck and
All right.
neck. But everybody's still in play here.
Very tight.
Yep. So after 29 games there. And let's go back in the pool and see where we're at now. All right, little 2.5 game lead, but Ed is right there. Steve falling behind a little bit. Derek's still in play. And
It's early.
yep, 45 games in the books.
Derek, you mean it's early enough that you could still blow it?
Oh, I'll definitely. I have full confidence in that.
All right, let's get back in there and check the standings. All right, I'm built. Oh, look at this. Derek jumps to third, to second rather.
Whoa.
Nice
All right.
job. All right, it's getting interesting. 65 games in the books there. We should be right around the midway point right about now. 77 games in the books, so right around the midpoint. Derek is still right there.
Making my run.
I want
Yep.
Derek's team check for PEDs.
Yeah, there's something going on.
Here we go. Let's take another look. Uh-oh, opening up a gap here.
Oh, I went backwards.
Nope. Just lost 3 games. Derek is still in there. He said, no, no, no. Not so fast, my friend. 111 games. All done there. Go back and check again. Oh, I gained them back. It's going back and forth. I lose games. Derek chips away. And that would be 117 in the books. And now we're up to 133 in the books, so 22 games left. This one not as close as the first season.
Hey, if I finish 500, I'm happy.
Well, you're going to finish above 500 for sure. And we're going to let it run out. And we'll see if there's any rainouts and check what the final tally is. Maybe 1 or 2 rainouts, 1 rainout to reschedule. And we'll run that. And the final standings are.
I don't want to see him.
Oof.
All right, that was a pretty good season, but not
No, it
not
wasn't. That
pretty
sucked.
good for me anyway. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Depends on your
Andy,
perspective.
it's not Andy. It's
Yeah.
not all about you.
You're right. You're right, Mark. You're absolutely right. If every human being on the planet would remember that, how awesome would it be to be a human being, right? But everybody's like, no, it's about me. No, everybody's got their own little universe, right? No, 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 no. You're part of a much bigger collective here. Yeah.
Nice job, Ed, with the second place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Only have won some extra inning games.
Yeah.
How did I go? Is that, am I reading that right? 28 and 12 in 1-run games?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my!
That's and Aiden won an extra inning games. So
I've wanted bullpen comes through.
yes, it does. Yes, it does. So both you guys finished above 500.
Yep.
And then Steve and Mark, a little bit of a rough season.
Not ideal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rough.
All right.
That's underplaying it.
How do 4 or 5 teams end with a losing streak?
Interesting. Yeah.
I guess because of the rain out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rain out did it. Yep. All right. Let me save these stats and we'll come back to the third season. I just want to jot down these totals.
And these are like Kansas City numbers.
All of them.
Like the old saying, I can't win at home, I can't win on the road, and I can't find anywhere else to play.
Yep.
All right. Let me pull up StatMaster and save these stats.
I believe it was an old hockey coach, Harry Neal, that
It was.
coined that phrase.
Exactly, it was.
I actually have a book. I haven't read it, and it's all about the WHA.
Yeah, the mighty Minnesota Fighting Saints.
Oh,
Quite some stories back then.
and some of the wild stuff they tried.
Yeah.
It's in my bookshelf to read.
Nice.
Mark, is that a history of the WHA?
Yeah, more or less. And
Okay.
I think it leads to a lot of the humorous stories.
Okay. All right. Let's bring up League Manager again, and we will do the third one. All right. Let's swipe out these stats. Reset statistics. We got a
Okay,
clean
this
slate.
season ABA, anyone but Andy.
Exactly. Just hunt me down here. All right. Season 3 is officially underway.
Not looking like a good season so far.
Okay, let's take a look.
All right,
It's
that's again.
pretty tight.
Okay, we need
Yep.
to end the season right now.
Right now. Over.
That last round, Andy, I think you started off 0-5, 0-6 or something, right?
0-4 at least. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Mark is still right there, neck and neck. Steve and Derek falling behind a little bit. Ed is still in the game. 30 games in the books. Let's take another look. Very tight. Look at Mark. Mark wants to make some noise, and so does Ed. So 51 games. It's still anybody's season here. Derek's still hanging around. Steve falling behind a little bit. So we're past the All-Star break. Very tight still, 72 games in the books. Mark and Ed refuse to go away. Let's just stay on this because we got a race here. Ed 3 back, Mark 5 back. 85 games played. Uh-oh, a little bit of a gap opening up. Mark, I think I had sent you an email. I think one of the things that hurts you a little bit is as the season progresses, you were a little bit short on at-bats. So in other
Yeah,
words,
and
what ends up happening is the players will continue to play because fatigue is active. So the manager will continue to play them, but their performance will diminish.
well, that's why I went with LaRussa, because I figured, he's a thinking man's manager, and he would manage that as best he could.
I know, but he's not going to be able to work that kind of magic.
I don't know.
Because you
He's done
were
it in
just
some places.
the message though really is when you're getting towards the end of the auction, you really got to focus on those below 600 OPS guys to fill in those at bats. Ed is still in the game. Nice over 500 record there, Ed. All right, one rain out, which we'll get in the books right now. Final standings for season number 3 are. All right, Ed, nice job, 85 and 71. Excellent. Mark, you fell down a little bit, but you were very close, like half the year, and then it started to go down a little bit. And then Steve and Derek, the pitching is really the Achilles heel. Steven, looking at your team, I'm just trying to, I mean, your pitching grade was the ranked third.
Yep.
I think what hurt you a little bit, Steve, is I have you ranked the lowest in on base percentage.
Yeah.
So if you don't get guys on base, it
Yep.
hurts you. Yeah.
Yeah,
And even-
I was almost 500 at home, and look at my road record.
Wow. You're absolutely right.
I
didn't
know, I
notice
know I
that.
mentioned I was in Colorado, but it looks like I really am.
Ricky wants home cooking.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, let me jot these down and then I'll save it and we'll go to season 4.
Ricky could be affected by some of the good throwing arms too, right? In a regular season, he wouldn't be seeing a 5 and 6 arm every game.
That's exactly right. So the stolen base strategy in this particular auction wouldn't work as well as it would in some other auctions because you had a 6 arm, you had a 5 arm, you had several 3s and 4s. So it stifled the running quite a bit.
I figured that might, but I kind of also looked at just his on base and all his other numbers. You know, okay, even if the stolen bases were suppressed a bit, he's still, you know, the top dog, right?
Totally agree. Yeah, he in other words, even if he didn't steal a single base, between his on base and slugging, I mean, he did hit 28 home runs that year too. So
Right.
So no matter what, he was one of the top players. All right, let me just save these stats and we'll come back to replay season 4.
Yeah, I had him level with a couple other guys, but quite frankly, the only one that was significantly higher was Hack Wilson.
Yeah. Yeah, Hack was I mean, I had Hack rated the best hitter in the auction. Yeah.
But yeah, Ricky was definitely, doesn't matter where you place him. He was definitely a top 5 player.
Yeah. By the way, have you guys seen pictures of Hack Wilson? I'm sure you guys have because you're all baseball fans.
Yep.
All right, I'm thinking an Alejandro Kirk comp. What do you think?
Possible.
All right, let me get my stat master up.
I am not a big Kirk fan.
I mean, he had last year was not great. The year before that was pretty solid.
Yeah, but it's even, I'm not a big fan of this down on one knee catching.
They
Yeah,
traded the wrong catcher. That's all I'll say.
Yep.
I agree with you, but it's what's the offer that's out there? Tell you some of the rumors that, oh, they might as well take Atkins and Shapiro with them
Yeah.
because they're going to get run out of town.
Yep.
What do you think about Washington, Derek?
Initially I wasn't all that stoked about it, but it looks like he's brought in a pretty good coaching staff.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they don't have the players, that doesn't mean a whole lot. So
True.
we'll see how that all shakes out. They don't have the pitching.
Yeah.
They have that albatross of, Rendon's contract. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be another long couple of seasons.
yeah. I think you're right.
I'd love to have Ron Washington in Toronto.
All right, here we go. Let's wipe out the stats for the 3rd season. Everybody's got a clean slate.
All right, 1 second.
And here we go. Another good start by Ed. Yep. Ed, that's like the 3rd time you swept me the opening series.
Yeah. I got Guidry's number.
Really?
This looks like a repeat for season 2 for me.
All right, let's see. 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 right, let's see where we're at
My
here.
year, I'm feeling it.
You might be right.
There you go.
Yep, 3.5 game lead with after 18 games played. I'm a distant 6 games out, but it's still early.
Boy, beat Carlton.
Derek,
there.
Derek, 18-5. There's that pitching.
Yeah, I saw that. Not a good look.
Numbers everywhere. Real big numbers.
All right.
I'm gonna say we held you to 18 runs that game.
All right, let's see where we are now. Ed, strong 6-game lead after 49 games. And Steve, not too far behind. Derek
I
and-
am sucking something bad.
This looks like a race, gentlemen. Let's see. Let's just move up to where we are right now. Looks like we're at the All-Star break. Actually, no, 3 games, 3-game gap there.
Ah, you just swept me.
A real tough spot. 5 in a row.
Uh-oh.
My lead's gone.
Let's take a look.
I dripped.
You are correct. You hit a bad patch there, but it's still anybody's season here. 3 games behind. Ed is 3 games behind. Steve 7.5. Anything can happen.
I mean, when you're going up against, the likes of Dennis Rasmussen, Joe Cowley, and Bob Shirley, you're going to hit a rough patch here and there.
All right, let's take a look. Uh-oh, pulling away a little bit here, Matt.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
Steve's in second, but Steve and Ed are both over 500.
Yeah, let's not talk about me.
I don't want to rub it in. Honestly, Mark, all kidding aside, though, I thought you had an excellent auction. I just think the one thing that is hurting you is that you were probably, when I calculated it, you were probably about 400 at bats short.
Well,
And
I look
even-
forward to looking at the stats later.
Yeah, yeah. All right, back to the standings. We have 130, about 25 games left.
Oof. Cone did not look good every time I saw him pitch.
His grade was good, but he had
Yeah.
a W, which signifies he's a little bit wild, and I think that might have hurt him.
Yeah. I mean, it was just my next best option. So
Yeah. All right, no rainouts. So the final tally for season 4,
oof.
and
Oh,
that
Pac-Man, nice job.
and that's a wrap. Ed, good job. You had
There's
3.
about 500 every year.
Yeah, every season was over 500. Nice job.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, nice job. Let me just jot this down, and then for this last season, I do want to share the StatMaster so you guys can see some. Yeah. Let me just jot down these numbers.
It'll be interesting to see whom the micromanager underused or didn't use or overused or.
Exactly. For me, this is so much fun because the preparation I love. When I come up with the prices, the auction obviously speaks for itself. It's a lot of fun, but I also love the afterwards where I get to put all the stats together. It's for me, it's just so much fun.
Yep.
Right, and that goes. And Steve knows this. I've said this before. Whether I win or whether I lose, I still enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
I found finding a value way more difficult than it is for rotisserie because there's a real value to a stolen base or a save or a win, and it's not the case here. So it was hard to find values.
You're right. And the other thing that where this is different than rotisserie too is, you know, in rotisserie you wait until the right time, right? And you buy that $2 guy that could potentially return $30 value. That's not going to happen here.
Nope.
You know, a $2 guy here is a $2 guy.
Yeah.
Um, 79. Steve, you had two good seasons, 84 and 79.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, because again,
Yep.
there's certain facets of your team, like OBP. If you don't get the right breaks,
Nope.
you end up at 66 instead of 79.
Yeah. And what I noticed is that this team seemed, watching through, very streaky. Very streaky.
That could be a factor on who was rested and who was tired.
Exactly. All right, let me get out of League Manager. Let me just stop sharing this and then get into Stat Master, and I'll share that once I save everything. All right, let's I have Stat Master open for the last season. Let me share that with you guys.
There we go.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Perfect. So the first screen is going to be the pitching. Let me just sort it by innings pitched. That might be the best way to show you. Oops,
Thank you.
not that.
26 wins for Guidry.
That's huge. I had him rated as the second best pitcher behind Carlton, so I was happy to land him. Yeah, so Guidry pitched fantastic. But so did this other actually I have three pitchers that pitched excellently, even though this guy's ERA was a little high. Steve's Cone was just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe in some of the other seasons he was streakier, but in this particular season he was nice.
Carlton's quite the disappointment.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go by the wins, but the 338 seems
high.
a little. Yeah, the 338 ERA seems a little high. Yeah.
So was Guzman.
Not seeing. Oh, there he is. Now that's a disappointment. 479. Yeah.
Oh, look at Aaron Seeley. Good grief.
Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna hurt when you got a 698 ERA.
That's not gonna help. Yeah.
How's Rigetti lose 16 games?
Wow.
Ugh. He'd be run out of town.
Ouch. And somehow saves 34 games.
Penny.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
my dinner. Dog's trying to get my dinner.
Uh-oh.
So Rigetti factored in 54
Bob.
games.
I love Bob Shirley. 10 wins, 10 saves.
Oh yeah.
Or no,
Wait.
10 and 10 with 4
No,
saves.
10 and 10 with 4. Steve, what did you say?
I said Rigetti factored in 54 games.
4 games, yep.
Wow.
And he pitched 60. That's games played, right? 66.
He pitched 112 innings, 66 games. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Tremendous.
Um,
And then in terms of saves, who had the most saves? Let's see. Rigetti 34, Ward
41 for Ward,
41. Nice. Yeah, I think that's probably the highest.
yeah.
Yeah.
In there for somebody.
Yeah. I mean the pitching obviously had a lot to do with my team. Because if you look at the top, 4 guys, 4 innings wise, I had 4 of the top 5. Derek, what about your guys?
Numbers are low, I find.
Say it again?
The complete game numbers are low. Maybe that's based on the quality of the offense.
You're right. So what I'll do, I'm not going to do it later because I have to do some prep work for Saturday's auction and I have to do some, real world work. But by the weekend, I'll send you guys the compilation of the 4 seasons broken down by every season, combined averages. You'll get everything that you would ever want stat wise for this. Let's
Defensive
do
stats as well.
say that again.
Defensive stats as well. Defense.
Yes, I'll send you defense as well. Yep. I didn't pull it up here, but I will. It'll be part of my.
That's fine.
Yeah, it'll be part of my compilation. All right, so that covers
Percival and Henke were a huge disappointment.
who?
Percival and Henke.
Let me find them. I didn't see them. Where's
They were way down there.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, it's sorted on innings, but I guess what did they actually do, right?
That could be a micromanager not using them enough.
Yeah.
let me just sort by saves. I mean, Percival 2.28 ERA is not bad.
Hank had a 158.
No, they did it right, Mark. Not save wise, but in terms of performance, they were.
Rizzo is obviously using Percival as the closer and Henke as
Yeah.
the setup man.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to hitting. So hitting is broken down into 2 pieces. This first one is qualitative. So let's sort by OPS, I think. Oops, not that. So be mindful of the plate appearance category here, obviously. So top dog, no surprise, Hack. 1216 OPS. Nasty. And it isn't just the OPS, it's 724 at bats. Because one of the things I tried to do is I tried to maximize his at bats. So for my left-handed lineup, I batted him first, actually, to try to get those extra whatever couple of at bats. Second would be Gabby Harnett, who I would have loved to have had. Third, let's look at significant at bats. Well, my guy Luzinski too. So sorry, Greg, I'm not dissing you, but Harnett would have been better.
Who knew Jim Sandler hit 400? Wow.
Oh yeah. Look at that in 51 at bats.
Could have played him more.
Yeah. Kiki Kyler, though, I got to tell you, that guy doesn't get enough credit. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, so he did get credit. But the numbers that season in 1930 were crazy. Singles, doubles, triples, homers, and he stole bases, too. Let's see. Who else we got here? Woody English did a nice job.
Yep.
There's the Hassey McCarver combo. I know they're both left-handers, but
Yep. And those were that was my basically my combo DH, one lefty, one righty. They did great for me. Woody English, not bad at all. Schmidt, a little bit of a disappointment under 900 OPS.
Yeah.
There's Richie Hebner doing his thing. Yeah. Mattingly, a little bit of a disappointment. That's about almost 100 points lower than real life. Again, this is only one season, not all 4, not the average of all 4, but still.
right.
All right, so that gives you the qualitative stuff. Let's move on to the quantitative. So we'll sort this one by home runs, and then we'll check out stolen bases too, because they were suppressed. There's Hack again up at the top. 376 batting average with 160 RBIs. He only missed his all-time record of 190 by 30. Luzinski 45, Joe Carter with 44. That's 12 more than real life. Nice job by Garrett Anderson.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with nothing wrong with the top of my batting order. It was just the rest, the other 20 guys.
Not one bit. Ricky with 30 homers. Yeah. Not at all. Mattingly 24. Yeah. Let's take a look at, let's just rank by stolen bases. Yeah, so there was some suppression, not in terms of efficiency though. So Ricky stole 80 in real life, steals 51 here. McBride 49. See, this is where Billy can actually hurt you, Steve.
Yep.
We've talked about it before. He's so aggressive
Yep.
that Meacham had 36 stolen bases, but he got nailed 17 times.
Yeah.
Whereas the Buck Miller managers, if the percentage is not in their favor, they
He's not
won't
doing it.
they won't run.
Yeah. I was torn between Buck and Billy.
Yeah. Alomar stole 49 in real life, down to 24 here. And again, the suppression was partly due to the good throwing arms
The
in this
arms.
particular auction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that covers that. And then let's just look at the team summaries. So in terms of batting, so my team was #1 in OPS, rather in on-base percentage, and barely #1 in slugging. So the big advantage that I had was OBP. Because in terms of slugging, we were all pretty close except Mark. The other teams were right in this tight pack. In terms of home runs, Derek actually had the most home runs.
Colorado.
Yeah, there you go, the Colorado effect. And then stolen bases, no surprise, it was Steve and Derek. Steve actually had more. And then
Look at those.
pitching wise,
Look at that percentage, though. I mean, I just 88 caught stealings.
yeah, that's the thing. And I've read a bunch of articles, and Steve, you and I have talked about it too.
Yeah.
75% is actually considered the break-even point.
Yeah.
For stolen bases. So the moment that you're successful more than 75%, then the stolen base begins to have value in terms of run creation. But if you're below 75, you got hurt. You lost opportunities. Pitching, I think that was the big difference. When you can see that. So my team was first, and then everybody else was kind of in a little tight pack. And of course, Derek, we knew that was going to be a challenge for that team.
I thought my pitching would do better.
Yeah, your pitching could have been a little bit better for sure. Let's see, you came in fourth. Derek was fifth. Ed and Steve were almost identical. And then fielding wise, Ed definitely purchased the best fielding team by a decent margin, 989 fielding percentage. My team was last. There isn't usually a lot of difference between the first, second, and third, but there is always a lot of difference between the best and the worst. So my team committed 53 more errors than Ed's team. That's a lot. And that's it, you guys. The last screen, I think, is just the standings. So I will summarize all this good stuff for you so you guys can delve into the numbers. Got it.
We have 5 or 6 on Saturday.
Saturday is 6, and that's why
6.
I really wanted to decrease the bidding time window to 8 seconds, just to keep it reasonable, because for our auction we had 5 and we finished at 3. So 6, if I don't keep it moving, I don't want it to get to 4.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think 8 seconds I think that's plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make it 8 seconds to see if we can wrap things up at 3:30 on Saturday. I think that's.
What team did you take Saturday, Derek? Derek, what team did you take for this Saturday?
Nope, I'm not in this one. Nope.
Oh, I thought you were.
No.
No, Derek's taking a pass. There's actually this Saturday. There's actually me, another buddy of ours, Scott, who's done some auctions with me and Steve, and then the other 4 guys are newbies. So it's going to be really interesting. because in this particular auction, Derek had done some before, Steve had done some before, obviously me. We had Ed and Mark who hadn't been exposed to it before, but in this Saturdays we have 4 people that are brand new, so it's going to be interesting. I'm really curious to see what that does to the bidding, so we'll see.
But seriously, again, for first timers, that having players in the queue ready to go, knowing what they want, the pace was fine.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely
I
nothing
thought
held
we
us
did.
up. No,
I thought we did fine.
Yeah.
I really did. We did a great job. And what helped me personally, because I hadn't done this before, is on the spreadsheet, I put the nomination queue and the highlighting of every time we took a selection. That really helped me keep
Yeah.
focused. Yeah. So, well, listen, independent of the results, you guys, I hope you found it, Ed, I hope you found it enjoyable. Mark, I hope you found it enjoyable and challenging. And please consider joining us in another one at some point.
Oh, I will. I don't want to suck so bad.
You get used to it. I did. I just kept trying different plans of attack, and
Yeah, and that's what I love about you, Steve. You have no compunction at all about just trying different things.
yeah.
Mark,
Yeah.
I think not really knowing APBA probably does hurt because you don't know the nuances of the fielding, the importance, that sort of stuff.
And that's why
Absolutely does.
yeah, and that's why I try to give everybody that little fact sheet to give them some guidance on what the numbers mean. But I also had a situation where I think it was Paul, the gentleman who pulled out of this auction. I don't know that it's a good idea to get too stuck on the symbols. At the end of the day, you got to look at the stats, because if you have faith in the APBA program, which I do, and I know you do as well, Ed, if you have faith in the engine, the simulation engine, then what you need to do is look at the stats and base your pricing on the stats, because you assume that the simulation engine will produce those numbers for you. So I don't want people to get too stuck on the symbols.
Yeah. One mistake I made is I took 5 outfielders very quick.
Yeah.
Where playing rotisserie, if you have 5 outfielders, that's a good play because you can fill it up with value. But I had 2 guys basically who didn't play.
Exactly.
That I paid for.
Exactly. So, but yeah, the more you do this, the more you pick up different nuances and different strategies. So I hope let me survive. Let me try to survive this Saturday's auction, and then I'll chat with Derek, and we'll see when we can set up another one. I'm sure between this group and the other group, we'll be able to get 6 people, 5 or 6 people for sure to do another one.
Well, that, and I'm hoping, once we put the link out with the videos, maybe we'll recruit some newbies as well.
Exactly. And then what I'll do too is, I'll do a write-up of this auction, which we can publish on the website as well. And we'll see if we can get, more folks. And then obviously you guys, whatever you can do to tell folks that this is a lot of fun would help to publicize it as well.
Awesome.
Great.
Good.
All right, gentlemen.
Together,
Sounds
really
good.
appreciate it.
Great.
But I sucked,
thanks,
so
Andy.
it wasn't fun.
No, yes, it was. Come on now. All right, you guys. Have a good night. I gotta do some real work now. All right.
All right.
What's
Have a good
that?
night, guys.
Good
Yep.
night.
Night, guys.